I am so frustrated with this car. It's like it's cursed. I don't know what's going on, man, so I'm just frustrated. It's just not bleeding. We're going to be using the chemical stripper to strip all that paint. The first alloy has just come out the oven.
We love the Beamers, the Benz, the Porsches. All of my fans are now they're supporting. Style with nothing but look at us now. Whoever's supporting, I'm making you proud. Whoever's supporting, I'm making you proud. Salvage Nation, look at the squad. We're up in the foreign line, look at the car. Look at the car.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. You know what? I'm gonna call you guys, instead of SN squad, you lot are the Keep It Moving squad. In the last episode on this car, trust me, I was frustrated, I was annoyed, and you lot, so many of you got into the comments, you gave me ideas, you gave me tips, but there was one in particular, one of you guys, I'll see if I can find it, pop it up on the screen. You were telling me about the pressure in the system because the car was completely drained of all its oil. For the brake system, we need to get a pressurized plunger to kind of really draw that brake fluid through the new veins of this car. And as you saw just now, we got lift off. The car is driving. I went ahead and did some work off camera. I got a new suspension on there. And as you saw just now, we got a new alloy on there. We're gonna be refurbishing those alloys towards the ending of this video. And we're not gonna be spraying them, we're gonna be powder coating them. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But before we get to that stage, we need to finish rebuilding this car and getting it all done. So I just wanna say a massive thank you for all of you lot who got into the comments and gave me tips and ideas. We got the car running, we got the car starting, we got the car driving, and the brakes are working. So just wanted to start off there. Now let's get into the video. Alright guys, so we got the car in the garage and this is where we're at. If you remember, I told you we repaired everything on this suspension. It was an arm and a leg. It was hard, it was long to find the parts, but we kept it moving and we got the parts. We also got a new alloy wheel for the front that was completely missing. I paid 156, I believe. Plus postage, it came up to 165. But as you can see, the other alloys are black and they're also really damaged in terms of curbing. So we will be refurbishing all the alloys and we're gonna put them all back to that gloss black color, which I really like. But I thought that this side, if you have a look, that wheel is slightly bent. It's a bit more than slightly bent, but I thought that was because the car was missing that suspension and it was leaning. However, now that the car is on its all fours, you can see that's clearly still bent. We went under there and we noticed that it's got a damaged wishbone under there as well. So we had to go ahead and get the suspension for this side. We've got that. I'm gonna sort that out now and then we can start to reassemble the front bumper. I've also got a replacement wing, so we're gonna slap that wing on, get everything lined up, and then we can start to get this car into paint, and then we'll be refurbishing the alloys. So there's a ton of work to do in this episode. It's gonna be an extended episode to wrap everything up on the car, so let's go. Alright guys, so it's about an hour later. I went ahead and I refitted all the damaged parts and I'll show you that in a second, but check this out. This is what was hidden, man, hidden damage. Have a look at that. That is meant to be completely straight, but you can see how badly that's damaged right there. So this was completely toasted. Now, I want to point this out. A lot of you may not know. So this is the hub as well. And if you imagine, all of these parts are connected to each other and they're going to be really solid. So I'm assuming that if this is bent, then this is also going to be bent. And a telltale sign is, if you have a look at all the grub and all the dirt, have a look at how clean this section is. And that happens when you've got a surface of rust or grub or anything, and when it bends, once it gets damaged, all that grub starts to flake off, and you can see how clean that is. It's just randomly clean right in the middle. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so it's randomly clean right there. Dirty, dirty, clean there. So that is a strong indicator that it's bent right there. So because of that, I'm not 100% sure, and I didn't want to take any risks. I don't want to come back to this once the car is up and running. I went ahead and I fitted a replacement hub and a replacement brake disc. I went ahead and fitted a brand new wishbone right there. Wishbone is on, and all I'm going to do now is I need to change the inner track rod arm on this side. So I want to thank one of my subscribers, Mr. Johnson. He recommended me getting this tool. Have a look at it. This is going to make my life, and I've used it a few times, this makes my life changing these inner track rod arms so much easier, and it's really, really good. So I didn't even know about this, and like I said, guys, I'm not a professional. I'm a guy who's been doing this as a hobby for quite a long time, and there's nothing better than learning, and I'm glad that you guys can give me something to learn. And yeah, I just want to thank you. So Mr. Johnson, thank you. So I'm going to buckle down all of this off camera. You don't need to see it. You've seen it on the other side already, and I'll catch up with you guys once it's time to refit the bumper and the other panels. Alright, so guys, so it's the next morning here, and have a look at this car. Everything came out yesterday amazing. I came in yesterday morning bright and early. I had a clear plan. I executed that plan. I kept it moving, and this is what we're left with. Everything has fitted together and gone together really nicely. All the lights are working, all the sensors are working, everything is working on this car. All that's left now is to make everything nice and pretty. We need to do some body work on that driver's side wing, do a little bit of body work on the bumper, and most importantly, I need to sort out these alloy wheels. We're going to be using the chemical stripper to strip all that paint off the existing alloys. We're going to be refurbishing them, grinding it down, getting rid of all the curb rash, and then I'm going to be powder coating them, sticking them in the oven, and hopefully they come out looking amazing, and then we can set this car off. Another reason why I'm happy as well is this car's going to a good home, because one of my subscribers, who's been a long-term subscriber, he's been very helpful over the months and years, etc., etc. He's coming down with his family. He's going to be picking this car up once it's done. So I'm looking forward for that. But there's a lot of work yet to do before that can happen. So let's complete this car. Alrighty guys, have a look at this. It looks crazy, right? I've left Mustafa next door sorting out all the bodywork on the car, and in the meantime, I went ahead off camera. I got all 4 alloys off the GLA, I got the tires removed, and this is going to be my chemical stripping bath. This is all part of the Essen Garage build, so you're going to see more on this. This is the wheel chemical stripper. This stuff is very dangerous. I've got a lot of PPE. I had to get some training and stuff about it. So please do not try this at home. So this is the wheel stripping bath. As you can see, it's well underway in the process of stripping these down. We're going to get them out, rinse them now, and we're going to start to fix all the curbing. So guys, there you have it. After an acid bath, this is what we're left with. We've got the alloy wheels from the GLA down to the bare aluminium. And as you can see, some of the ones that were black, they've still got that diamond etching. But you know what? I haven't got a lathe to do diamond cutting. And I just like the way they looked when they were all black. So that's what we're gonna go back with. I've got some powder coats in the next room. I've got an oven to assemble. I've got so many things to do to get this completed and get that car behind me completed. But for now, what I wanna do is, this is the worst one. So this was the front passenger side, I believe. And in the accident, it got really, really bad curbing. So what I wanna do is, I've got my grinder and I've got a grinding disc on it. And what I'm gonna do is smooth out all of this curb rashing, get them nice and clean as possible. And then we can start to do our final sanding. And then we can get these prepped for some powder coating. So I'm hoping you're enjoying it. If you are, press the like button, man. Like, come on, I do my own stunts, guys. This is something that I've always been planning for years and years and years. And sometimes in life, you just have to take the plunge. And a few months ago, I told you guys that I had bought a lot of machinery and equipment, etc., etc. And I had a box sitting right over there. That's the oven that came all the way from Europe. And yeah, I just need to assemble that. And then I'll be able to pop these bad boys in. I've got the colors already, so I hope you guys like it. Anyway, no more talking. Let's get these sorted. Okay guys, so it's the next morning. I stayed really late last night. I assembled this little bad boy. This is my new powder coat oven, and as you saw last night as well, I got those wheels nice and prepped. They're 100,000,000% better than the way they were when they were really, really curbed. And I can't wait to get these. I've got the powder coat paint right here. Stay tuned to see what color I went with. It's a dark color, but it's a little bit different, and I hope they come out alright. It's the first time I'm doing it, and I'm gonna perfect this, and we're gonna be doing this on future builds, and this is just gonna be a game changer for the channel in terms of the type of content that I can bring you, and I'm very excited about that. Another thing, as you can see, we are now in the Salvage Nation garage. We've done a lot of work on this. But you're gonna see a future episode on the garage and all the stuff that we did last night and yesterday in the future, so stay tuned for that. But this video is not about the garage, it's about these wheels and the Mercedes GLA. So let's lay down some paint, get them in the oven, and hopefully they come out looking tip top. So let's go. So guys, I've got all the alloys here. I went ahead and I also picked up this digital temperature gauge. This is very important. I'll need this to know what temperatures my oven is running at. This was the worst alloy wheel here. I've tried to clean it up as much as I can, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna come out alright. This is the powder coating machine. I picked up this little bad boy, fairly cheap. It was about 150 quid. If you want to get one of them, I'll link it down below. So this is just a starter kit, and I can always upgrade this later on. But yeah, like I said, this is all a first for me. I done a little test a few weeks ago. It came out nice, but for today, I've got a fresh bottle. What I'm gonna do now is load up the correct color that I'm gonna be using on the alloy wheels. I've got one wheel set up, and I've got the oven heating up right there. So yeah, let's get started. Alright guys, so I'm excited. That's one alloy in the oven. I want to see how that one comes out first, because like I said, this is the first time I'm doing this, so I want to make sure that I'm not layering it on too thick, too thin. Yeah, I just want to see how the first one comes out, and then I can adjust my technique on the other three. Another thing as well is I've ordered some special hooks and they haven't arrived. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to do them on the floor. Now I know that it's not ideal, and in the future I'll get better equipment and I'll set up everything a little bit better, but for this video I just want to blitz them out, get them on the car. It's mainly the faces and the inners that I'm concentrating on, and then on the outer, or the bit of the alloy that's underneath the tyre basically on the inside, I can just put some lacquer over that just to protect it. You're not going to see that anyway. So yeah, I'll catch up with you once this one's done. Alright you guys, so have a look at this. The first alloy has just come out the oven. It's a bit warm, however, it's safe to touch. I went with an anthracite black with a slight textured finish. Have a look at that. It looks really smart. I think it's going to look really good on the GLA. I'm happy with that, and it's 10 times better than when it went into the oven. So we stripped it, we cleaned it up, and now we've laid that fresh powder coat, and it looks really, really cool. Have a look at that AMG sign. It looks really, really good. I'm very happy with that.
You win, yeah. Can't wait till we rich, yeah. No, it's gonna take time, yeah. Don't trip, yeah. I remember being broke, never having nothing else to my name. I remember when no one believed in me, now they say I'm a star like Billie Jean.
Alright you guys, so I've got 2 more alloys to finish off. However, it is taking a bit of time. Like I said, this is new to me. I'm just getting my head around everything. So this is where we're going to end this episode, unfortunately. If you want to see how everything's coming together in the finale, I wanted to finish the car in this episode. However, we're out of time. Everyone's going to go. It's just gone 6 p.m. on Saturday evening, and I'm getting calls all the time. Where are you? Come home. So I'm going to head off now. And in the next episode, hopefully everything should be done. We'll get the alloys back on the GLA, get the GLA all buttoned up, get it out, and that will be the end of that build. And then we got some new builds coming, so hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, you know what to do. So like I always say guys, keep it moving, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that, why don't you check out one of my previous videos on the left? There's plenty in the playlist. And if you want to know more about the Salvage game, why don't you become a member of Salvage Nation, and I'll be there to guide you along the way. And don't forget, you can follow me on Facebook, TikTok and Instagram if you want to get an inside scoop before YouTube.